Hans and Ashley, we're going to do a brief walkthrough on some of the things I found in your potential new home. First, in this new garage here on the single car side, there's a minor crack. That's an easy fix, but at the end of the day, you really want to get that cracked once water finds its way into that cement. So far, the garage is in pretty good shape. While we're in the garage, why don't we just talk about your water heater? It's in this closet. It's vented. It's a 75-gallon water heater, so it's a significant size water heater. There is an issue simply the way this temperature pressure relief valve comes out and exits water if it overflows. This needs to be within 6 inches of the floor because it's scalding water. So in my report, there'll be a statement about, hey, this thing needs to be lowered to roughly here so it doesn't splash up on you if it ever explodes water up and out. All right. Let's, your water cutoff out of the house, that's an important part. You want to know where to shut your water off if one of the fixtures ultimately leaks. And it's right out here in the garage. I'm going to go out the side garage door here. Move into your backyard. If you decide to buy the house, I recommend everybody put a cover over their outside condensing unit. Just protects it for the winter, and then when it's ready for spring, just take the cover off. The outside of the house is in pretty good shape. There are a few things that I would recommend you do as owners. The best way to see this are these gaps in the window. A little caulking along there. Seal them up completely so water doesn't penetrate behind the siding. Here's a bigger gap, and it'll be in the report. You can actually see the raw wood on this side. Though this siding's treated, you really want to seal those up. And there's only in a few spots, so it's not a real big deal, but I recommend putting a little caulking in here. Patio's good, the cover's good. I traversed as much of the roof as I could. Most of it's got snow and ice on it. It looks in pretty good shape. And then when I was in the attic, everything looked pretty good up there, insulated well. So at the end of the day, I believe the roof and the attic are in actually really good shape for new construction. Real quick, again, you can see some of these gaps, but because this is under the cover, this shouldn't get too much water or moisture in it, but you can see the sizable gap that requires a little caulking. That's something homeowners should be doing anyway. All right, let's go back inside now.
Okay. You said as far as gaps go, Todd does a better job overall than some of the other builders you've seen?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
See, because this one's exposed and your soffit is not too big, the water's going to come down like this. And the last thing you want the water doing is penetrating down inside that siding a little bit. So just a little caulking. You can see most of it's fine, but it's just normal construction. That's what happens.
Gotcha.
All right, let's go inside. Start over in the utility room. So Jason said you had a little bit concerned about how the water drains for the washer and dryer. It does drain out here, and also the feeds are right here. So essentially the piping will come up, there'll be a little air pocket, and the water will shut down. So that's all set to go. But if you're really concerned, I would recommend a pan that the washer would actually sit in. I recommend that for people that have 2-story homes and they put the utility room upstairs. So you can get those, so if it does ever leak, it'll protect the floor with a pan.
Because it does not drain. The room doesn't drain if it's under the floor.
There's no drain in this room, no.
And that's not code. You don't have to have a drain?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No need. Your drain's in the wall.
Roger that.
All right, let's see. This is the master. And the important things with the master is that access to the crawl space. One of the sides is on the west side of the house here. Access down in the crawl space. I don't know if we want to talk about the...
You can, if you want to pull up the photos now, we can do that.
All right, we're not going to go down there, but when I went down to check the crawl space, the plumbing for the crawl space and the flange or the floor joists that actually hold up the floor were improperly installed from the plumber's perspective. So he literally gouged...
You set it up right here on this.
He gouged the floor joist in such a way that it's going to end up in the report. So this is the webbing, this is the flange of the joist. There's very specific dimensions that can cut in the webbing. This one's clearly too large. If I go a little bit back, let's go to this one. Here's another one. This is the real problem. They plumb the toilet up through the flange of the floor joist. Touching the flange of any floor joist is an absolute construction no-no. So the report will actually give you a statement on this. So I'm going to recommend a structural engineer to come in and take a look at the damage to the floor joist. And it's really close to the toilet right here in the master. And then you have the bathtub that can carry some serious weight. So the real issue is they damage the floor joist. The floor joist is carrying clearly the weight of the home near the master bathtub that carries weight and the upstairs. So we're going to need to get someone in there, take a look at that, and solve that problem.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, the rest of the master's in pretty good shape.
Okay.
So you have two thermostats, one downstairs and one upstairs. They seem to be, if you put the temperature up downstairs, it will control the furnace upstairs and kick it off, and vice versa. It took me a long while to figure that out. Heats the home fine, but you're going to need to read the instructions on how the thermostats are compatible with each other and how the furnace upstairs heats downstairs and upstairs.
Okay.
All the appliances work. I tested them all. Everything's in good shape here. Nice kitchen, by the way. Way to go.
You like the white cabinets?
You like the white cabinets, yeah.
Good.
Jason had the gas insert working. Lots of nice heat coming out of that, especially when it's 16 degrees out. You'll like that.
No.
Everything's pretty good in here. The bathroom and the front office downstairs.
Okay.
I did notice the top rail is loose. That'll be in the report, so we're going to need someone to come in here and anchor that a little bit better. The last thing you want is that coming loose as someone comes up the stairs. Here's the second thermostat. I set it to 66. Downstairs warm, upstairs is warm. So again, just read the instructions on how both thermostats talk to each other. Here's your furnace. It's tucked in this closet.
Why do you think they did this? Just out of curiosity.
Big house, central unit, probably the most plausible way to heat top and bottom.
Okay.
Right, instead of pushing air from the garage through a big house, they just centralized it.
Because we hadn't seen this in any other home we looked at, and we looked at quite a few homes.
Yeah, no,
So-
I was expecting to see it in the attic, so I'm glad it's not up there. But it's a little noisy, so you definitely got to keep these shut.
Absolutely.
And make sure you clean or you take the filters out and get them cleaned every couple months. Lots of dirt.
Perfect.
All right, we'll walk into this back bedroom connected to the Jack and Jill. I did find one little issue on this one. The fixtures, essentially when you go to shower, or actually when you just turn it on, you both get the shower and the bath at the same time.
Oh.
So the fixture setting down there isn't set properly, and even if you try and bring it up, it still leaks. So
Gotcha.
this fixture needs to be replaced.
Okay.
All right, we'll continue through. Jack and Jill, everything is good in here. You can still see the snow coming off your roof. I was out there. I couldn't go all the way all around your roof because of the ice and snow.
Yep.
But all in all, Hans and Ashley's house is a nice little house. Pretty good shape. I really didn't find any, what I call Jason, blue tape specials for you to fix. There's one in the utility room. I took a picture of it. Just needs a little paint. Let's go downstairs for one last thing.
Okay.
Again, nothing big except just.
While we're walking too, with the flange and the joist underneath the house, do you see that a lot in new construction, where they cut through those?
I've run across it a couple times on new construction.
And is this? I mean, how is this one? How bad is this compared to those? Out of curiosity.
Well, it's probably on average. It's a plumbing crew coming in. It's an AC crew coming in, not realizing what they can do to those floor joists.
Okay.
And those floor joists have very special rules.
That's for them and me, just to find out.
The door works good, but I don't think they finished the painting, because I saw some writing on it, and then I know the discoloration on the door on this side. So this is what I call a blue tape.
Yeah.
You know, just some finishing work that has to get done.
Cool. That and the little spot in the laundry room.
In the laundry room, which
Okay.
I took a picture of. So actually, let's go in there real quick and you can see it again.
Cool.
It's just kind of how they put the grout and the paint together along the seam. They could have done a better job.
Yep.
Just along in there, all the way around. They could
Excellent.
have just done a little bit better job. All in all, not a bad house, but we do need to get someone in to take a look at those joists.
Awesome. Thanks, Frank.
You bet.